Welcome to Non-Fiction Reviews. Susan Sontag's Against Interpretation is a collection of essays, which became a milestone in contemporary cultural criticism. The book contains 6 essays, 4 of which were originally published in the Partisan Review and the New York Review of Books in the 1960s. The collection is united by the theme of interpretation, which Sontag sees as a pervasive and limiting feature of modern culture. She argues that interpretation can be a way of avoiding direct engagement with art and the world, and that this avoidance is particularly prevalent in contemporary art and criticism. In the opening essay, Against Interpretation, Sontag makes a case for a new kind of criticism, one that avoids interpreting works of art and instead focuses on their sensuous qualities. She argues that the emphasis on interpretation in modern culture has led to a loss of appreciation for the immediate, sensory experience of art. Instead of trying to translate a work of art into a symbolic or allegorical meaning, Sontag suggests that we should be content to experience it in its immediate form, without attempting to impose meaning on it. The second essay, on style, expands on this idea by exploring the importance of style in art. Sontag argues that style is an essential aspect of art that cannot be reduced to meaning or interpretation. She suggests that style is a way of communicating an artist's unique perspective and sensibility, and that it is through style that we can gain access to the emotional and intellectual content of a work of art. In The Death of Tragedy, Sontag discusses the decline of tragedy in contemporary culture. She suggests that the modern world has lost its capacity for tragic experience, and that this loss is reflected in the decline of tragic art forms. Sontag argues that we need to recover the capacity for tragic experience in order to confront the realities of our own time. The fourth essay, Notes on Camp, is perhaps the most famous piece in the collection. In it, Sontag explores the concept of camp as a way of understanding a particular mode of aesthetic experience. She argues that camp is a sensibility that values artifice, exaggeration, and theatricality, and that it can be found in a wide range of cultural phenomena, from fashion to film to literature. The final 2 essays, One Culture and the New Sensibility, and The Imagination of Disaster, explore the relationship between culture and politics. In the first, Sontag argues that the emergence of a new sensibility in contemporary culture represents a challenge to the dominant ideologies of the time. In the second, she examines the role of the imagination in contemporary culture, and suggests that our fascination with disaster and catastrophe reflects a broader cultural anxiety about the future. Here are 5 takeaways from the book. 1. The tyranny of interpretation. Sontag argues that the overemphasis on interpretation in art and culture is a problem. Interpretation is seen as the only way to access and understand a work of art, but it often leads to a flattening of the work and a loss of its essential qualities. 2. The importance of experience. Sontag advocates for a shift away from interpretation and towards a direct experience of art. She argues that we should approach art with an openness to sensation and without preconceived notions or expectations. 3. The dangers of categorization. Sontag critiques the tendency to categorize and label art, and argues that this approach limits our ability to fully engage with it. She advocates for a more fluid and open-ended approach that allows for multiple interpretations and experiences. 4. The value of style. Sontag argues that style is a neglected aspect of art, and that we should pay more attention to the way that art is created and presented. Style can reveal important information about the artist, the historical and cultural context, and the meaning and purpose of the work. 5. The potential of the avant-garde. Sontag sees the avant-garde as a positive force in art, as it challenges established norms and conventions and pushes the boundaries of what is possible. She argues that the avant-garde can help to keep art alive and relevant, and that we should embrace its potential for innovation and experimentation. Overall, Against Interpretation is a provocative and challenging collection of essays that raises important questions about the nature of art and its relationship to culture and politics. Sontag's arguments are often controversial and have been the subject of much debate and discussion, but her work continues to be influential in the fields of cultural criticism and aesthetics. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content on non-fiction. Let us know in the comments what other non-fiction books you like to see on our channel.